listening to the Weekly Spoke, a San Diego Bike Coalition podcast. For commuters, by commuters. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the San Diego County Bicycle Coalition podcast, the Weekly Spoke. I'm your host, Daniel Rodriguez, and I am joined once again by co-host Elizabeth Bowersox. We're excited to welcome you guys back to another Wednesday. It's kind of nice here in San Diego, April 20th. So for today's topic, we are actually going to talk about some of our favorite places that we like to ride. The title of the podcast today is actually going to be, Oh, the Places You'll Bike. I know, it's pretty good. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about some mountain biking, gravel routes. I know Elizabeth has a couple. Elizabeth, what are some cool ones that you like to attend?
Hey, y'all. So, it is a common misconception that there is no gravel biking in San Diego. And I'm here to tell you that there is gravel biking in San Diego. And we're going to start in Lake Hodges, okay? You guys, there is a lot of awesome gravel riding out there in Lake Hodges. I know tons of my gravel friends, even my roadie friends, mountain biking friends too. They all hit up Lake Hodges in Escondido. It's kind of on the border of Esco and RB. That's Rancho Bernardo. But yeah, this place is like a mecca for gravel riding. I see Strava routes all the time. And it's a super cool place to check out. I hear it does get really hot, like in the summer. So try to get out there early. But lots of pretty views too. So yeah, that's going to be on our list for places to mountain bike and gravel. And that is Lake Hodges.
A lot of elevation there, or is it kind of mellow? I
think it's mostly mellow, because it is kind of like in a lake area. Okay. Are you looking at the map right now?
I am, yeah. No, sorry. I was just looking at the map. So, like, should we give these routes ratings or these locations ratings? Or, like, out of 5, what do you think? Would you say, like, 5 being the most challenging for, like, oh, you have to be professional almost, to, like, 1 being, like, anyone could do it?
Well, I think this specific place has something for everybody. You can make it challenging. You can make it easy. I don't know. I think this is right there in the middle, I'd say.
Yeah, a nice little 3.
Like a nice little 3.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
But you have to have a mountain bike or gravel bike. You can't go there with a 90s or 80s old school bike.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can do anything, right? You can do anything on anything.
I guess, yeah. Technically, as long as you have the right tires, you can kind of go anywhere you want. But it's pretty cool. I've never been to Lake Hodges, but I've heard a lot of cool stuff about that area, especially bike-wise, so I don't know, I just gotta make my way out there. It's just so far up. Yeah, and so there's a road, the Del Dios road that kind of that's the road, and then if you're on the road biking, you can look down and see all the trails, and it's poppin'. I mean, and the San Diego Mountain Bike Association meets, they do group rides out there too, I hear, that are really awesome. But yeah, it's got something for everybody, that's for sure. So make sure to check that out this summer. No, it's super cool. I feel like one of these days I'll have to go out there. I've heard a lot of cool stuff about Elfin Forest Reservation and other cool hiking spots. Nice, Lake Hodges. Make sure to write that on your list, folks, in case you guys want to check out a new location in San Diego. But speaking of new locations, I like to actually talk about one of my favorite sections to explore. Let's see, I'm trying to find it on the map here again. Tecolote Nature Preserve, kind of right next to, here we go. Kind of right by University of San Diego, east of Mission Bay. Kind of a small trail. You can pretty much take a mountain bike, a gravel bike. There are some sections that are kind of steep, but what's cool about it is that a lot of cool single track that kind of follows the golf course, and then you kind of get into this really nice forested wooded area that's just covered by these oaks, and there's sometimes a little stream that runs through there, especially if it rains. So I don't know, out of all the locations in San Diego, that's cool to check out, has some nice spots to stop at and actually enjoy nature. I always like going there. I mean, I've taken my my track bike there too. So there's really no excuse to like not go there, really. And this is a track bike with no brakes. I'm actually going down the hill, praying to the bike gods.
Oh my gosh.
No worries, I wear my helmet. But yeah, Tecolote is awesome. I definitely highly recommend it. What's cool about it too is that you could actually connect it all the way to like Claremont, and then from there you can actually go all the way to Rose or Marion Bear Memorial Park. So you could do a nice little loop all the way to like Mount Soledad and all that stuff. So yeah, it's my favorite. I don't know if you guys didn't know what Tecolote means. It means owl, by the way.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, no, it's a nice little tidbit fact there. A lot of people don't know that, but amazingly, I don't think I've seen any owls there, unfortunately.
Oh, thanks, Daniel. Should we move on to road riding?
All right, yeah, let's move on to road riding. Mostly because I feel like in San Diego, there's a lot of road riders.
Yeah.
Especially up in North County on the 101.
Yeah, so let's dive into that. So when I started to get into road biking, the 101 was where I flocked to, and I feel like a lot of people use this. I mean, first of all, it's beautiful. It's relatively flat compared to the other riding that is available to us in San Diego County. There's some hills, you know. We got some rolling hills, like if you're going down or up Torrey Pines. It's a great spot for beginners. All kinds of riders actually are out there. So technically, we're gonna say that it starts in Torrey Pines, Torrey Pines Road. And you head north, and you can go as far north as your little heart desires on the 101. The possibilities are endless, and a lot of people like this route for like their first century. And for those of you who don't know what a century is, it is 100 miles, or I think in kilometers it's like 60. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 60 kilometers or 100 miles, and I did my first century on the 101 actually. And by the end of it, I was, we had to make a few food stops because you definitely need to be fueling. But that's a good thing about riding on the 101 is because there's tons of places to go eat and get coffee and yada yada.
Have you been like favorite stops on the 101?
Yeah.
I like to go to Pizza Port.
Oh, Pizza Port. Is that in Encinitas?
Yeah, I like to go to Pizza Port on the 101 because, like, if I'm biking 80 plus miles, it's like pizza and beer, like great combination, you know?
Yeah. And I've recently been to Modern Times in Encinitas, and I haven't stopped there on a bike ride, but I think that's like would be a super cool place to stop. But I also ride with SDBC, and we make our coffee stop at Café La Terre, which is in Solana Beach. And they have amazing coffee and really good pastries, so the chocolate croissant is always my go-to. But anyway, 101, if you haven't and you live in San Diego, go check that out. So it gets really crowded on the weekends, obviously, because there's tons of group rides, like especially Saturdays. But in the weekday, like in the middle of the week, it would be awesome to just like go check it out. And yeah, you can just make it your own. You know, it's an out and back kind of situation. But that is definitely on the top of the list for road riding.
Yeah, no, I like what you said about the 101 because it is kind of almost entry level for anyone. Yeah. I mean, there's bike lanes, which is kind of cool, so we kind of stay away from cars that are really kind of going fast most of the time. But yeah, no, I feel like I've done the 101 plenty of times, even with friends who aren't really used to biking. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it's like along the ocean, you kind of have these awesome views every once in a while. You're stopping at like these small towns or cities on the way up or down. And even if you do make it all the way to Oceanside, you could take the Amtrak back down if you want. If you really want to, you know, if you can't like make it down, which makes sense. But yeah, no, I love the 101. It's cool. Not a big beach person, but seeing the beach from the road is, I know, someone from San Diego. Sorry. I'm going to be canceled here. How could be a San Diegan and hate the beach?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm a Southern San Diegan.
Yeah,
All right. Anyways, let's move on. So we talked about the 101. We talked about some mountain biking. I think what I also want to talk about is like kind of like bike commuting or bike packing, because I know a lot of people have been getting into bike packing around San Diego, at least that I've noticed. but I feel like a lot of people don't know where you can go bike packing sometimes. And so that's why I'm here. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And we'll probably have a little bit more larger segment on bike packing further down the road. But yeah, bike packing, cool spots. You can even go mountain biking out there. You just have to kind of get out there. Sorry, I'm trying to look for it here on the map. There's Lakeside. Here we go. Mount Laguna. So Mount Laguna is a cool little spot. You can even do a little loop around there on the 79 through Pine Valley and stuff on the road bike. If you haven't been, a lot of climbing. But yeah, Mount Laguna is cool because you go camping out there. You can take your bike. They have some cool trails that you go mountain biking or just take a gravel bike on as well. And I mean, if you like being in the trees, you like being away from people, it's definitely the best place to go. Not too far away from there. You can also bike down to Anza, which is really cool. More desert, more flats. But what I like about that area as well is that there's a lot of trails through the desert that lead you kind of to these like canyons and caves out there, which is super awesome. Kind of like just hidden springs every once in a while. And amazingly, there's also a lot of art in the desert that people just kind of randomly go out and place. Like you just go be in the middle of nowhere and you'll start seeing like these statues, like these dinosaur statues and like these other like big paintings that people just have done. And it's almost like Joshua Tree, but closer to San Diego, which is nice. But yeah, I've biked out there a couple times. I've bike packed out there a couple times. Kind of a pain in the butt though, because it is, I think like once you leave Hamul, it's literally 6,000 to like 8,000 feet of straight elevation climbing. Yeah. Sweet. So it's just like maybe not like the easiest for beginners, but if you have a nice bike that's set up with a nice range of gears, you can pretty easily, bike your way up there slowly but surely. Yeah, I remember doing it one time. It took us 4 hours to bike up. It took us 30 minutes to bike down. That's the beautiful part of climbing and cycling. It's like you go through so much pain, so much effort, and then you enjoy it for 15 minutes to go down. That descent. Climbing. You're like, why am I doing this again? And you're like, oh wait, that's right. Just like good ride down for 15 minutes. That's right. But yeah, no, bike packing out there is super cool, and I highly recommend it. I mean, I've done it from downtown, actually, San Diego. You kind of have to go following like the 94 through Spring Valley and then Hamul, I guess, or sometimes even up to like Julian, Alpine. My bad, Alpine. But yeah, no, I love going out there on my bike. Most of there aren't that many people, and less people means a little more quietness, and yeah, it's almost like you're kind of just there by yourself. So yeah. I don't know. Have you biked out there?
I haven't, no, but my friends keep bugging me. They're like, let's go Sunrise Highway. They're like, let's do Sunrise Highway. And I just haven't gotten the chance to. But, it is going to get really hot in the summer here. This reminds me of Palomar. Have you climbed Palomar, Daniel?
No, I remember, because the only time I've been to Palomar is once, and I actually went out there to hike, so I drove up Palomar. But the entire time I was driving up, I was like, wow, how cool would it be to go down this hill or down this mountain on my bike? And I was like, one of these days I'm just going to have someone drive me up so I can just go down.
Just down. Wow, that's cheating. Yeah, I think so. Last summer, it was probably like June. Maybe, I don't know why. I mean, we started at like 6 o'clock in a.m., and it was scorching hot. But then by the time you get to the top, it like cools off. So it's like aggressively cools off. It's crazy. And then you kind of have to like bring your arm warmers and leg warmers for the descent. But that descent, I mean, you feel like you're on top. I mean, you're literally on top of the world. Palomar is the second tallest mountain in San Diego County. The first being Mount Laguna. So would recommend Palomar. Definitely a fun descent. I felt a lot better on that descent having like my gravel tires. Like it just felt like it was more grounded. I don't know. You can do it on whatever, but like there's so many switchbacks. There's like 21 switchbacks or something like that. But that's for when you've been riding for a little bit and feel like you wanna take on like a 3-hour climb. But yeah, definitely worth it. And make sure to start early. Is there anything else you want to touch on today, Daniel?
I mean, not really. I did want to talk about like maybe some of my favorite streets in like around downtown San Diego, which there aren't many, mostly because like there's a lot of cars that kind of ruin the streets. But I mean, just a couple like little nods to some trails around town. Anywhere around Balboa, like Florida Canyon's cool. One of my favorite streets in actual like in a neighborhood is Fern Street. Most because whenever you're going down 38/Fern Street, right where like that Target is in Fernside, there's like a coffee shop right there. Just the trees like overlaying, like just kind of covering the entire road. It makes this kind of cool tunnel, and especially at night because that little neighborhood has like lights on the trees. So when you're just going down, it's like, oh wow, like this is actually a really nice neighborhood. Yeah. But aside from that, yeah, I mean, I like going to Golden Hill Park, and I like just bombing down Broadway, really too. Bombing down Broadway, staying straight into downtown from Golden Hill. Like I feel like that's a really really cool, fast, nice little entry to into downtown. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure like a lot of people have their hidden gems and hidden spots to go, and just do a little routes around the city. But that's all I have. You have anything else?
Yeah, I just want to add one thing. For maybe our less experienced riders looking to get out and feel safe on the road, because that's definitely like a learning curve, like getting out there and learning to ride in traffic or with cars. There's obviously a risk every time you go out on the road, but there's a really cool place called Silver Strand in Coronado, and this is a separated bikeway that spans, I don't know how many miles, but it's a minute. It's a minute.
Like 3?
Yeah, that sounds right. Like 3 miles of stretch. And if you start in like downtown, you can take the ferry across to Coronado and then hop on the Bayshore Bikeway. And I mean, Coronado is like you get transported into a whole different world. That's how it feels like to me. It's this beautiful island, and it's very tropical and breezy, and there's a lot of opportunities to like just enjoy San Diego just right there in Coronado. There's lots to do, and so we really like the Bayshore Bikeway. My parents are a little bit older, and they don't feel as comfortable like riding on the road, and so we do this Coronado loop all the time. And if you want, you can go all the way down to Imperial Beach and then head east and do the whole Bayshore Bikeway. I think it's like 45 miles all the way around, and so that's a really cool thing that San Diego has for separated biking. And that's an honorable mention is Mount Soledad for our more experienced riders. There's lots of ways to get up there, and it's really steep. And shout out to Via Capri with an 8.8% average grade. It's crazy. I would highly recommend you do it. And you can get off and take a break because your heart's like, what the heck's going on?
Have you ridden up Texas before, or have you not?
No, I haven't ridden up Texas. I like live by there though, and I should, but I've heard things about it.
It's a pain, man. Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's a struggle. Like going down, no, it's fine. Like I think it's like 10% grade at some point.
No.
But it's just like it's not even. It's maybe like a mile, maybe less of a mile of a climb, but it's just pain. That's
it's
all
a killer.
It's pain. Yeah.
It's just you just enter the pain cave.
Yeah.
That's what you must do.
I did want to say though, another honorable mention. Maybe will be like better in the future, of course, but this is definitely more for like less experienced cyclists who are just barely getting into it. But Pershing Drive, I mean, that's definitely one of the routes / streets that I'm looking forward to because they're working on it right now. So hopefully they finish it sooner than later. But it's going to be easy for folks to go both down and up that street on both sides. So I look forward to seeing more cyclists out and about utilizing that drive or that street to get straight to downtown. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that concludes our second episode of the Weekly Spoke. Man, this is going to be fun. We're really excited about this, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear from listeners. So make sure to check out our socials. Send us a message on Facebook, Instagram. Send us an email at info@sdbikecoalition.org. Daniel's going to send out a post, and he will say, what do you guys want to hear about next week? So we'll talk about new topics every week. And again, just let us know if there's anything pressing you guys want us to touch on. We just want to say that our regional bike summit is June 9th and 10th here in San Diego. It's going to be in Balboa Park. So make sure to check out SD Bike Coalition website to register. It's going to be 2 days of fun. We got some panels, and we're going to do some bike riding and eating and music, and it's going to be awesome. And Earth Day is April 22nd. So make sure to get out there on your bike, enjoy Mother Earth, and also want to say that Bike to Work Day is May 19th. All right, we're going to have a pit stop here at the office here in downtown, and lots of other employers are making their businesses pit stops on your way to work. So make sure to get out there on May 19th. Ride your bike to work every day if you can. And Bike Month is May. Entire month of May. I'm going to try to ride my bike the entire month of May. This is a super long outro. Okay, that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. Daniel can redo this if you